Hey, this is something I wanted to make for a while. It's going to be called or just COOMCAST. It's a podcast. How original could that be?
My brother in Christ, this is your idea.
Yeah, I know.
COOMCAST brought to you by Comcast.
No.
Fuck a spectrum.
Fuck a spectrum.
Except the spectrum, which I'm on.
Absolutely. Verizon Fios, bullshit. AT&T, bullshit. Fucking, I don't know, Google Fiber, bullshit.
It's called Google Pi, actually.
Oh, it's called Google Pi.
Or Google Fi or something stupid.
Google Fi.
Google. You know how Google used all of the names for stuff and then continued to just invent words? Like, we already got Google Voice, Google Home, Google Documents, Google
Glass.
Chrome, Google
Glass. That's still
Google
a thing.
Bones. Is Google Glass still a thing? Google Glass. Google Glass.
Google Glass, yeah.
What about Gaga Glass?
Gaga Glass, should be all good. So
this podcast is about what the fucking podcast is about. How about that?
Yeah, that's what
the quest for meaning.
The quest for more money.
For search for want of meaning. And we are fools for you to laugh at. Big funny.
Stop. Stop taking the reins out of my hand. Every time I try to start commentating, you're like, oh, wait, whoa, hard left turn. I'm like, no, dude, the GPS says go right. The GPS says go right. And you're like, no, left looks cool.
Dude, that street is called Will Smith Avenue. How am I not going to turn on it?
Don't start. Don't you fucking start. Do not fucking start with me. I don't want to. We're not going there yet. At the end, we'll tell the story. How about that?
Perhaps.
Okay, perhaps. All right. So the purpose of this one, it's a podcast about the podcast.
Right.
Podcast-ception, even though it's not what inception means.
A meta podcast.
Yeah, that's actually more accurate. What we're gonna do is before even we get to that, we're gonna break down who we are. We're gonna break down who we are and what we do. But I'm gonna start with you, co-host number 2.
Hi there, I'm Hamburger Larry.
Well, I have to ask the questions first.
I know. Continue.
I just really had to say my name and hi.
Listen. I was about to do a bit where I demanded like 3 cents of royalties for you humming my song in public. But continue. Do your little format thing. It's funny.
So, you alias man, you with the many aliases. Which one are we calling you today?
Hamburger Larry.
Where can we find you?
Fuck a mushroom Larry.
Fuck a mushroom Larry.
You can find me at patreon.com/bigfunny.
Yeah.
That is the only place where you can reach me. I will not respond to any DMs off-site. I will not... If you think you saw me on social media, you simply imagined it.
Right.
It's not real me. And you can't talk to me unless you pay me money.
Based. Okay. What do you like to do with not only their money, but their time?
Well, I like to make funny. That should be obvious.
Right.
My favorite funny activities include creating thumbnails, these beautiful 1080p like Renaissance paintings in my own MS Paint brain massaging style.
Yeah.
You can't look away. Truly impossible to look away from a big funny thumbnail.
I agree.
Impossible to not click on it, frankly. If you're here, you made the right choice. I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you too. Next question. So you've only mentioned one thing that you like to do, and that's making thumbnails. What else do you do?
Well, I think that's pretty much... Oh, here's what else I like to do. I like to write music, like the Mental Breakdown theme. You might have heard it from my co-host's beautiful lips over there doing a boom 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 boom. It sounds something like that. Actually, he's not very far off.
Yeah, I imagine you'll probably compose something for this one.
Surely. Expect lots of cartoon sound effects in general in that song.
All right. The fucking penis
all.
music thing. All right, whatever. I think that's all I really got to ask. Who are you? What you do? That's pretty much. Yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, now you can pass the buck, as they say.
I see. So the buck has been passed. Wonderful antlers over here.
Thank you.
Tell me your name. Tell me
I'm
what you are called on the internet.
I'm funny man. I refuse to accept being called anything else. I don't have a real name. My
Who
name
called you
is
funny man? Where'd you get that?
I made it
Who
up.
calls you funny man?
Me.
Oh, so you just gave yourself the name funny man.
Precisely, yes.
That's awfully presumptive and bold.
It's an awfully hot coffee pot.
You're a funny man, huh? Tell me something funny.
What do you get? What do you get? A big Toledo loader.
That's really funny. You're right. So funny man.
Yes.
What do you do here exactly?
Many moons ago, I also used to make music, and I played games on camera. But both of those things flopped horribly, so I dropped them like a bad habit. Because I was bad at both of them.
I see.
I also used to make cartoons. One of these days, I'll probably do it again. But
Are you bad at that too?
No, I was okay at it. I just got tired of it because it's extremely time consuming.
Sad. You should do it again. You should continue.
Give me a preponderance of time with which to achieve that, and I would. But
I shall.
Step 1 to achieving that is give me your money. Link
You
in the
heard it here
description.
first, folks. Description. First link you see, patreon.com/bigfunny. Big like big, funny like funny.
Yeah.
Can't miss it. Again,
Can't miss it.
Two words I'm sure you're familiar with. Two words that I'm sure have very positive connotations for you. So you should be right at home in our Patreon, where we post where we post where
Nothing.
where
I ain't gonna lie, Chief.
we post
There ain't
nothing
nothing there.
for your money.
It's funny. We will
Except-
post things there once we get money in it. Please. I do also occasionally make a thumbnail or two. Mostly when I'm medicated under the effects of NyQuil.
Right. Well, that explains the NyQuil
The
thumbnails
NyQuil
that appear
watermark.
on our certain of our videos. That's sort of your signature,
Yes.
or is that the NyQuil beast's signature coming out of you?
It's a little column A, a little column B, as they say.
I see.
Yes.
So when are we going to meet this NyQuil beast on the show?
When I'm sick, more than likely. Probably. So this will probably happen around the time when it thaws out outside. The trees start blooming, the flowers are
pollen
blooming.
starts kicking up.
Yeah, that ought to do it.
Well, luckily, since you live in the Arctic Circle, there's very little chance of that happening to begin with.
You also live there now.
Yeah, you're right.
You have migrated to where the ancient Nordics live.
Like a flock of geese.
Flock of geese.
No,
they don't go to the Arctic. They go like away from the cold. I thought they go south.
No, they go. They spend the winter in the south, but then they
Yes.
come up north for springtime because they're too fucking hot down there.
Right. So do they like? Is there just like in like Ecuador or something? Is there just like 400 fucking like trillion geese just at one point?
No, it's like
Just hanging
the
out?
American South Coast. Like
They don't
Florida,
go
like
all the way south?
The Gulf of Mexico and such. I don't believe so. Anyway.
Well,
I'll fact
missing
check
out.
myself. If I'm wrong, you will know immediately because
No,
I'll
you
laugh at
won't.
myself in the editing and make fun
here's
of
an
myself. for
inserted
being
clip
so
of him
wrong.
laughing if he was wrong.
This is a Big Funny special report.
I'm Hamburg Larry, and I'm here to say I was wrong, and no one's surprised. I was right, and no one was surprised in a major way.
Now back to your regularly scheduled program.
All right.
I
Anyway.
hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed my very real
Don't-
non-Joker condition caused laugh.
You don't have a okay.
Yes, I do.
You don't have a condition. Okay. Remember that thing we were gonna discuss that I said we'd do at the end?
Police brutality?
No, I mean, you want to talk about police brutality? Way to bring the mood down.
There's according to this website I found, there
What
have
the
been
fucking-
133 cop killings in 2023.
As in
Not a
cops
single
getting
day.
killed?
Not a single killings by cops. Not a single day has gone by in 2023 without police executing a member of the public.
That's
Now,
pretty
what do you
cool.
think? Now you're, as we all know, you're a fed, you're a narc, you're a police
I have
officer.
a law degree.
You're a fed, you're a narc, you're a police officer, you're an FBI asset.
Yeah.
CIA. What was that word that you kept using on our show? Spook plant.
Spook plant. Yeah.
That's the word. That's the phrase that you
CIA
identify most
spook
with.
plant.
Yes.
Sure.
How do you feel about the state being judge, jury, and executioner on the street of any usually a black person they see?
Oh, way to flip it right at the end. Okay, so what's the question? How do I feel about them being judge, jury, and executioner on black people?
Yes.
Like, indiscriminately?
Yeah.
I think cops are usually afraid of black people. And that's stupid.
Indeed.
Because the operative clause in the black people phrase is people, not black.
Right, of course.
Which seems to be some kind of like synapse misfiring every time a cop sees someone with slightly darker than like who's a white guy who's a really like fucking
Drake.
Stop.
JPEG Mafia.
JPEG. Stop.
Lil Mosey.
Stop it. Stop naming rappers, first of all.
Lil Mosey is white. Sussy balls.
Stop. Anyone whiter than, like, I don't know, whoever the current president is, anyone whiter than them, they seem to, my trigger finger is itching, I'm scared, and then they start shooting.
It helps that they have an entire language, like a parallel.
What do you mean by that? Who's
Like
they?
a legal, rhetorical language. The police.
Oh.
You know,
go on.
I discharged my peacekeeping
Legalese.
weapon on the suspect, the offending member of the public, and I neutralized the situation.
Right. It's called legalese.
Yes, and they speak it very well.
Some are better than others.
Truly. So this was a great topic. I'm glad that we had this little.
Do you know that like
third eye opening discussion?
Do you know that the one statistic that everyone cites about police beating their wives, it's actually stilted in the wrong direction? It's not that they beat their wives, it's that they beat their spouses, and those spouses are men, and it's women beating men.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
That's a permutation of that statistic I didn't know. Did you know?
Yes.
That statistic actually refers to the like area of the body. So when they say they beat 40% of their spouses, that means the other 60% are totally off limits.
They just start punching at the toes and start going up from there?
Well, no, because they start with the head, because they want to get the most bang for their buck. If you can pick 40% of a person to abuse, say you're an abuser, put yourself in that mindset right now.
An abuser.
Yeah. Say that you're an abuser.
I don't think
on live, say it. If you had to pick a 40% of a loved one to beat, it'd probably include the head if you were trying to get maximum damage.
Yeah, probably. Speaking of getting punched in the face, did you see? You've heard the story of like the girl, the lady cop.
Darth Plagueis the Wise.
How funny. The lady cop who like slept through her entire department and was like cheating on her husband the whole time.
This singular?
I don't know. Like, there's this one like
many such cases.
There's like this profound case that was like posted all over the place. Did you hear about it?
I don't think this specifically. I've read. You know.
Surely you have. If I showed you her picture, you'd be like, "Oh, I've seen this nonsense." But
yes.
I'm sure the audience has heard it, regardless. So there's a photo of her spouse. I want her and her spouse together. I think it's recently, like somewhat after the events had transpired. And
when you say spouse, this is a male. This is a man.
Yes.
Ostensibly.
Yes, she is the lady cop. He is some guy. There's a photo, and he had like if you look closely, he's farther towards the background, I believe. But he has the obvious signs of someone trying to hide a black eye.
Oh.
Yeah, it's very cool. This was I think after she got arrested.
How are the green lines on that photograph?
How are the what?
Does he pass the green lines test?
What's the green lines test?
Do you not know about this?
No, that's why I asked what is the green lines test.
I forget what his name is. There's some European guy on Twitter.
There always is.
Who will just take pictures of like celebrities and put like green lines on them.
The
Rivellino.
I get with the sorry, I let one slip once more. the one who like takes pictures of like giant jacked dudes next to their wives who have to like lean over because they are just 3 feet taller than them.
Right.
And there's like, oh, beta male, and like he like if he has like vaguely has a hand in his pocket, they're like, no cock confidence. Like, what is that? What is cock confidence? First
Well,
of all, second of all, what?
Here's what cock confidence is.
Please enlighten me.
If you, in a photograph or like in your standing position, do anything to draw attention, like say you clasp your hands over the center of your body in like a neutral position, or you do that thing that rappers do where they put one
Like
hand
Eminem
over
where he
the other
points
to
the
show
camera?
off their watch, right?
Right.
They do that thing. That is called having low cock confidence.
Okay,
Because
so you're
you see,
saying
the idea is if you're putting any gesture or anything in the center-ish area of your body,
right.
you're embarrassed of your penis.
But what if I'm wearing pants that cover my penis because I don't want to have my penis out in public because it's a crime?
Well, then
Is that low cock confidence?
yes.
Or is that like the exception to the rule?
Well, unless you wear a codpiece over it, then you're fine.
God, understood. I
And
suppose.
if you like stand neutrally, like if you have a cowboy stance, that's great. Like legs spread wide, far apart, hands right on your
Bow-legged.
hips, like an old prospector. Yeah.
Yeah, walking around bow-legged.
Stinky Pete, totally confident.
Yeah, dude's packing it.
I was just offered chicken.
You weren't offered chicken. No fucking lie.
Yes.
Don't you lie. She said corned beef and cabbage.
Yeah, and then she said, "Do you want some chicken?" And I'm like, "No,
Chicken.
because that's a different beef. That's a different
It's
meat."
different beef? Listen. You
listen.
need to learn your food pyramids. What's at the top of the food pyramid? Tell me.
Oil. Right below
what-
that is cream cheese.
Right. Just cream cheese?
Well, and then no, because remember, it's two kinds of dairy. We've been over this before.
Yes.
We've got oil at the top of the pyramid. I'm gonna do a Photoshop thing, like demonstration of this. Oil at the top of the pyramid. Then we got cream cheese and heavy cream.
Right.
As the two kinds of dairy.
Uh-huh.
And then under that we have Impossible Burger. We have
Impossible.
bologna.
Oh, salami.
And we have. Oh, come on now, that's disgusting.
Genoa salami.
No, bratwurst.
What? Oh, okay, fine.
And then below that we have.
Like pig's feet or something weird.
No, that's that. We're not. We've moved past the meats. We now.
Oh, sorry,
we're
we're in the
onto
grains.
corn.
Oh, we're in the corn. Cornbread.
We're on the corns. Right. The
Four
the
different
corn,
kinds of grits.
The corn strata of the food pyramid. Yeah, you got grits. You got cornbread.
Right.
You got. Oh shit. You got corn oil.
Cornmeal. Corn oil. It's just high fructose corn syrup.
Right, that's what I meant.
oil.
Corn syrup. That's
Canola oil.
the stuff that's in everything, right? That sugar substitute that America uses, even
Yeah,
though
it's like illegal in
even
every
the
country.
British, like 30 years ago, they're like, oh, this shit's making us fat, innit? And then they blocked it,
Yeah.
and then they're still fat because they're just that gluttonous.
Score some fucking goals. Come on,
Come on,
England.
we the Nando's, blow me paycheck on a fucking 45-piece chicken.
Based.
That's what they say.
I can go for a 45.
That's what payday for an average Brit is like.
Blowing your face.
just-
Fucking KFC like Mondo bucket.
It's just because you don't. One thing a lot of people don't understand over there is like, chicken places aren't exactly a regular fixture in Britain. So like Nando's is set up like a bar. You just sit at the bar and you order like chicken legs. I'll have a drumstick. Or I'll have another breast, please.
Right. Me too. I'll have 2 in my face right now.
Disgusting.
What? It was disgusting.
Smearing your face
oh,
with
you
chicken
gay
breasts?
or something? What's the matter? You afraid
No.
of having some breasts in your face?
Chicken breasts, surely.
Oh, yeah, sure. Whatever. Liberal. Continue, please.
I'm not a liberal.
He says in a liberal voice.
But then, right under the corn section is soybeans. Just the whole bottom of the pyramid is soybeans, and that's really all you need for a balanced, healthy meal or a balanced, healthy life to begin with. That's the food pyramid.
I think there should be like a clothing pyramid.
What?
Like a clothing pyramid, the thing I said.
Can you expand on what you mean by that?
No.
Very well then.
I'm just kidding. Anyway,
I think
so. No.
Here's what
3
I
seconds
think.
of silence.
I think the food pyramid is not big enough. I think we need to erect an entire bottom strata called we need to turn this food pyramid into a food obelisk.
No, I think we need food scaffolding. Like, I think we need like snacks need to be put on there. We need like siestas, snacks. We need like crack. There needs to be like a crack part of the pyramid. We need like a crack like balcony on the pyramid. We need like there needs to be also like a rigid like Egyptian pyramid and more like an Aztec pyramid where it's got like layers.
Like a ziggurat.
Yeah, like the yeah, exactly. See, you know what I'm saying. You get it.
Right.
Perhaps a mound. Food mound.
No. It's called instead of the health pyramid, it's called the cigarette ziggurat.
So the dark health ziggurat.
The dark health ziggurat.
Right.
The top source of 0-calorie masculine nutrition is of course 1 pack of Newport.
This is like the
consumed
vitamins
at every meal.
this is like men's and women's vitamins spook level shit, or it's yeah, like they're the same fucking thing.
There are men's and women's vitamins.
Yeah, you just know what you don't know this. They like advertise vitamins for either sex, and I once with the girl.
I just buy vitamins. I don't know.
Yeah, you're taking sissy vitamins, aren't you? But I was with the girl once, and I took vitamins in the morning, as I do, and they were men's vitamins.
And the girl you were with went away?
Eventually,
I think those were antipsychotics, dude.
No. Listen. And then I offered her some of my vitamins, and they say men's on the side, and she's like, those are men's vitamins. And I was like, yeah, so, and she's just like, I can't take men's vitamins. To which I paused, realized that I might be talking to an idiot, and then said, what did I say? I said, fuck, I don't remember what I said. Well, story over.
You know, I think she has a point.
No, she doesn't. She's very dumb. She's probably the dumbest person I've ever met.
I think if a woman takes these men's vitamins, as you say, they'll overnight turn into a stocky, blocky fridge woman.
Oh no!
Nobody wants that.
Turn into an Amazonian woman.
No, just
God
just
forbid!
like
don't crush my head with your thought. Never mind.
Stop. I don't. I see now why this is called the COOMCAST, because you can't help yourself. I see why you wanted so badly to do something called the COOMCAST.
Yeah, I just can't stop. I'm masturbating right now.
You know, I talked about people like you in the very first episode of Mental Breakdown.
Do you? Oh yeah, because I asked you about Coomers, didn't I?
Right. Well, you asked me to break down pornography, as I recall.
Right.
And I discussed the carcinogenic effects of porn on the brain and on the hands.
Hands?
You know.
I suppose I do.
They turn your fingers real little.
Real little?
Real little and shrimpy.
Shrimpy?
Yeah, have you ever seen like a skeleton?
I didn't know that they reduced my hands to diminutive size.
Well, and by shrimpy, I also mean they curl up like shrimp.
Oh.
Because they're just stuck in that position.
Like jumbo shrimp or regular, like shrimp cocktail?
Like small shrimp, not jumbo shrimp.
That's an oxymoron.
Dude, you're an fucking moron.
No, I'm
popping,
not.
fuck, what do they call it? Opioids. Popping opioids by the hour. Like they're your granddad's butterscotch hard candies.
God, I wish I was popping opioids by the fucking hour, dog.
I wish I was popping
my back
hard
hurts.
candies by the hour, dog. I gotta get, man. I at a certain point you realize your parents are old.
Right.
I was going through the kitchen drawer and I found one of those strawberry hard candies.
So you uncovered the Werther's stash.
And I ate it and it went unbelievably hard.
Oh.
I don't think I'd ever.
I got news for you. That means you're a boomer.
I don't think I remember ever consuming one of those things. But the cool thing about those strawberry little candies is they have like juice inside. They have it's like a hard fruit gusher. It's quite wonderful.
I'm glad you feel that way.
I love hard candies. I'm an old person. Bury me in just a metric shit ton of root beer barrels, and I'll be set. Not individually wrapped, because that's that I don't want to be. I don't want my corpse filled with microplastics.
Right.
Just good old sugary root beer barrels.
Okay. That can be arranged.
It better be.
It's gonna take a while, but
will.
yeah, it'll be arranged. Don't worry.
What do you mean it's gonna take a
I
while?
gotta fill the
They're
fucking.
like 30 cents a. They're like 30 cents a ton.
Money part, the filling the grave part.
What do you mean? Just buy a big barrel of root beer barrels and then just dump it on in there. You can buy them in 50-gallon denominations and big barrels that are labeled root beer barrel.
Root beer barrel. Oh, understood. Well,
yeah,
I'll get right on it. You can go ahead and pass away at any time.
Just be real careful that you type in root beer barrel.
Right.
So that you don't just get a regular root beer barrel, because it would be really awkward if you lower me into the coffin and then suddenly on like a cold winter day I'm just my entire corpse is just covered in wet root beer, like fizzing and shit, and then they have to put a bunch of dirt all over it. Gross, disgusting. That's not how I want to go out. It'd be very embarrassing.
It would be pretty embarrassing, actually, huh?
So how do you want to die? What hard candy do you want to be buried under?
How do you want to die?
Or is it all of your money that you want to be buried with?
I wish I don't have that much money. I want to be buried with like I don't know, throw like a gun in there, and just like
Why?
put it in my hand. I don't know, in case I need to use it later. Someone steps in my fucking grave while I'm sleeping.
I think you've been watching too many scary movies. People don't come out of the grave usually. That's
No,
like a one-way.
This is in case someone comes into my grave. Like someone's trying to fucking like dig me out. I could just like wake up and just blah, and then go back to sleep.
Again, dying, kind of a one-way transaction.
Maybe for you.
What do you mean?
No further questions.
All right. That leads me to believe that you are already long dead and that you have been a zomboid for very long.
I've expressed this earlier. I've been through so much extreme pain through my life that I simply have elected to just not die at any point. Like, I'll be like, I think 900 something, and they'll be like, dude, you're so old, you're like the oldest person ever. And I'm like, yeah, I don't fucking care. I'm not gonna.
Refuse to die.
Yeah, I just don't want to. So, sorry, not happening.
Well,
Cope. Get over it.
To the people praying on Funny Man's downfall, pray harder.
Pray harder.
Or switch to the real God, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, do you have any more questions or subjects or topics?
No. Nah. I think let's give it another like minute. What else are we talking about? Oh, let's talk about last thing. The thing that I said in the beginning. Remember?
No.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to remind.
No, you remember.
See, this is why YouTubers usually like kind of interlace their content with the big thing at the end. Continually like talking about it because it's 30 minutes into this podcast and you haven't mentioned the thing since those 30 minutes.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
Why don't you introduce
it? Because I told you in
me?
the beginning that we're gonna do it at the end.
Yeah, that was at the beginning ago.
Yeah. Precisely.
I've been talking for 30 minutes to you. I don't know the rest. I don't know what happened in this conversation.
What? You participated directly in it, no?
Yeah, kind of like in a minute to minute way. Like I'm kind of switching off every couple minutes.
I knew it. I knew just like your brain flatlines whenever I'm not talking. I knew it.
That's not what's happening. I just have a very short attention span, and you are purposefully dragging this out so that I have even less memory of what you said. And if you expect me to introduce this thing, stop. Lower your expectations.
Listen. So the other day, you and I. We went to go. Oh yeah, I remember. Aren't you fucking? Isn't that convenient? Isn't it convenient? Yeah. Anyway, you and I, we were gonna hang out, make some funny, record some clips that'll be up soon.
Something like that. We were gonna.
But there was a major roadblock in order for him and I to meet up. I decided I would stay at my college where I was at because I had done some assignments. I had bulled around a little bit on campus. I didn't really want to leave. I figured it'd be best if I stayed put, and then we can go pick up my girlfriend, who would also help, and we'd move along. But something about following directions on a map, it just seemed. By the way, Google Maps, so like it tells them where to go for you.
A map that was operating at about like 7 frames a minute.
Hold on. I need to get my perspective down, and then you can inject your perspective. So, it would seem somewhere along the line of simple address inputting, something went horribly wrong. You needn't, you need only put the numbers of the address into the search box, and then press like go to then be led directly to where you're going. Is that not how Google Maps works?
That is how Google Maps works.
Thank you.
You're right.
Now, you see, like I said earlier, there's some sort of folly in this endeavor. For you see, it took him... Not only did it take him longer than the estimated 45 minutes it should have taken for him to get to me, it also... There was... How do I say? Como se dice? Some kind of mental... I'm not sure.
Stroke of genius.
Stroke of genius. No, quite
Brain
the opposite.
Blast. A flash of intelligence.
A stroke of mental deterioration that can only be seen in some kind of hospice care patient.
Right.
Where he simply could not follow... He simply could not follow the instructions being read aloud to him and presented to him.
No, I could follow the instructions.
Now, excuse me, I'm speaking.
How long have you been speaking? Oh my god.
Like 2 minutes, actually. But now, okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
How long is your perspective?
We just need to hear... Well, it's about 40, like an hour or two, the time it took you to get there. But go ahead, let's hear it. Let's hear your excuse.
My excuse.
Let's hear the defense.
Right. Yeah, I'm starting to think that this conversation
is Hamburger Larry on trial right now.
I'm starting to think this is prejudiced against me, because of the way that you're framing it.
Yeah,
but
you're
have
right.
you ever, viewers, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, have you ever paid money for goods or services?
Are you jive?
Found that the goods or services. I'm an old like an old timey like lawyer. Yeah, like have you ever seen the B movie? That fat guy in the chair.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Have you ever paid money for something, put money into something, and then it didn't work? It didn't do what it was supposed to?
I bought a swing set and my kid died on it.
That's very good. A very good example of what I'm talking about.
He's dead!
Well, I'm almost dead from what I experienced. So, I live near what is called a toll road. And the idea of a toll road is it's like a special road for a road plus for premium users of the highway who have places they need to go, for consummate professionals like myself who have business that can't wait, people to meet, and places to see.
Easy passes to be billed.
That's me. Easy Pass, exactly. Every time I pass one of the Easy Pass cameras, I give them a nice big smile.
You get fucking lasered with like sissy beta waves.
It's just the 5G. It's not that bad.
Right.
Come on.
Couldn't be that bad. Continue.
So I think it's like $2 to get from where I am to where you are, something like that. But I've paid this toll many times, and every single time it seems like it's fuck with me day, you know? Mm-hmm. Like this time, there was about like 20 minutes of just absolute. There was about 20 minutes where it was one lane, moving at about 10 to 15 miles an hour through a bunch of road work. The weather was fine. It was like, at that point it was like bright, like 60 degrees out and sunny and beautiful. I had all the windows down. I was quite enjoying myself, even at the crawl space, at the crawling rate that we were going. But then I get into town, and as has been happening for the past probably like year now, my phone is just deteriorating. It's gotten to a point where if I open up a single app, usually within a couple minutes of use, what's it called? Like the entire system, like Android system has crashed. Please close Android entirely and restart your computer, or restart your phone.
It's now safe to turn off your computer.
And as you can imagine, when you're using something resource intensive like Google Maps, which is literally connecting to the fucking XPO satellite at all times, then back to Earth. When you're using something like that, a very, very, very elegant, very high-class piece of technology, a shitty little Nokia phone cannot handle something like that after 2 years of continual updates and bloatware from Google. And so, about when it was time for me to exit the throughway, it just stopped displaying the directions, and I kind of had to go off of instinct of where I thought the place was, which got me pretty close. It got me to a nearby other school, just an unrelated other school.
If I may, Your Honor, he pulled into a random high school in the area, which was in session when he pulled up. So it was a miracle that he wasn't escorted out by the police.
It truly was a miracle, because I don't know if I told you this the day of. There was a police cruiser outside talking to a couple of teachers, and I just kind of casually drove past them. And the teachers gave me a very strange look.
Oh yeah.
So eventually, though, we make it to the actual school that I'm supposed to be going to. This institution of higher learning.
Yes.
And it turns out that Funny Man is horrible at giving any kind of useful directions. He's like Bizarro Superman.
Your Honor,
he seems
objection.
to only say Are you familiar with Bizarro Superman?
Your Honor?
Or is that an objection of ignorance?
This is an objection of relevance. The issue at hand is that you couldn't follow simple directions.
There were no directions for me to follow.
There simply were. You chose to ignore them.
What are you talking about?
My
phone was inoperable.
I told you, when you arrive at the incorrect location, where to go. You chose to ignore those directions I gave you.
Well, I believe the directions you gave me were, get back on the road, you fucking idiot. Look for a place that's like a big college campus type place.
Not a high school.
Except there's no tennis court and
Yes.
there's no street signs.
Yes.
So, this motherfucker has the gall to tell me that there are no tennis courts and no street signs at the campus.
Because
that
there
he's
are
at.
none.
And so
Your
I'm very
Honor.
confused because I just parked at the corner of 2 street signs on campus 50 feet away from a tennis court across the street.
Not our tennis court.
It's
Mind
a tennis court on campus.
It is not on campus. It is not our tennis court. It is fenced off on our side.
You higher education gerrymandering. All tennis courts are fenced off.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Lest the tennis balls go flying.
It's not the... When I said there's a tennis court, I'm not making a statement about the ownership of the tennis court by the institution. I'm making the statement that there's a tennis court to serve as a landmark of where I'm at.
Right.
And you're just like, oh, you couldn't possibly be... And then he finally fucking finds me, and for 45 minutes he proceeds to deny straight to my face, like Saint fucking Peter to Christ, that he saw that there is right there a tennis court and 2 street signs literally right there.
Perhaps.
Refuses to acknowledge it to this day.
Your Honor, I'd like to plead oopsie daisies.
Oh, well, acquitted.
Splendid. The court is out of session.
Well,
Let's take a recess.
that sure was a COOMCAST.
That sure was a COOMCAST.
We came, we saw,
We came again.
we casted.
We came again.
Well, don't give it all away. Big things coming. COOMCAST 2 coming.
Maybe.
To a coom near you.
Yeah. Given that this will be the easiest thing to edit, I imagine it won't be too much space between these. Anyway. Goodbye. I'm gay.
I've been Hamburger Larry, the thumbnail and music and writing and video editing and everything else for this channel extraordinaire.
Yeah.
And that's Funny Man. He does something.
I'm here. I'm depressed clinically.
Cry about
Goodbye.
it.
I
Take
just
some more
might.
fucking Ritalin.
Goodbye.
Torch. Fantastic. Fat bitches smelling like some biscuits. Shit in the. I don't fucking know. COOMCAST.